We're back again in the international arena, and once again we've got max facilities, max youth rating, but we've also slapped a TV deal in the mix. Yes, it's the Holy Trinity, a trifecta. It's Moldova versus Faroe Islands. Let's get into it. Two nations that are not in the base game in terms of their leagues and league structure. They're from the massive leagues mega pack that I downloaded, which has allowed me to sort of venture off into Africa and other places, but we're back in Europe because, you know, why not? So, Faroese Premier League, 07 Vesta, max facilities with Stefan Landro in charge. And if we look at the finances, the income is £250 million as an individual TV deal per season. That is for every single team that is in the top division of Faroe Islands, or the Faroese Premier League, if you will. In terms of Moldova, it is the Moldovan Divizia Națională. And as you can see, Show, Tiraspol are the team to beat, really. They are the Bayern Munich of the Moldovan League. Look at this. Clubs no longer exist. That's sad, isn't it? So many clubs no longer exist. Former winners, Constructoral Chisinau, no longer exist. So I guess maybe this is the team that we're going to be holding all our hopes on, because they are the team with the biggest reputation. As you can see, the wages are very, very low for the players, and some of them, like the key player, not even got a wage. He's got no bonuses, no like additional clauses. He's just got no wages. He just plays for the fun of it. He's actually all right. 118. I bet you could sign him in a lower league, save maybe League One. He'd do a job at League One, wouldn't he? Alejandro Artunduaga. As you can see, but then as you've seen, you've got the max facilities, and once again, if we go to the finances, the income, there's the individual TV deal of £250 million. Now, the Moldovan Division Națională is 37th, and the Faroese Premier League is 87th. So there is a huge disparity between the two nations in terms of their domestic league, which honestly makes me think that realistically Moldova have got the edge straight from the outset. Even though we've given them all the same sort of facilities, youth academy, max youth rating for the international teams as well. We'll check in on that in a second. And if you look here, this team's, you know, their key player, they're paying £575 a week, so they're paying a bit more money in Faroe Islands compared to what they do in Moldova. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? That these are two names that have come up in comments that people have mentioned. I thought, why not do them as a little verses? There was no real rhyme or reason as to why these two got pitted against each other. I thought mainly because they're kind of low nation ability. And I thought the growth would be quite impressive to sort of witness as we go through the experiment. But you never know; it might just be a bit of a snooze fest. So as you've seen, we've done that. Faroese national team is 128th, and if we quickly look at facilities, generate players 200 out of 200, and Moldova 163rd. So 128th to 163rd. Now, of course, those two nations are going to rise as we go through the experiment, as well as the league reputation rising, because hopefully we're going to get some European trophies. 200 years, this simulation. Sorry, I've waffled on long enough here. If you've been here before, you know the drill. If you're new around here, what we do is we do 3 jumps. We do 50 years, then we do 100 plus years, whatever the extra bit is. And we top the scores as we go. What are the scores, I hear you ask? Okay, so we've got the Europa Conference League, which will gain you 1 point. Edit J with the graphic. The Europa League, which will gain you 2 points. The Champions League, now that's 4 points. The Euros, internationally that is 3 points. And a World Cup is a whopping 5 points. And a new addition for maybe the last couple is the Ballon d'Or, which will also gain you 1 point. There are bonus points available as well. If you beat a team of the opposing nation or your own nation in a final, so domestically in the Champions League, let's say Champions League final, a Faroese team beats a Faroese team, there's a bonus point for that. Also, if they beat a Macedonian team, there's a bonus point for that. However, internationally, of course, they can't play themselves, so it'd only be against each other, but there's a bonus point, just 1 point if you have an all sort of final, and then the winner will take that bonus point. Oh, that makes sense. That's all there is to say. We're going to go 50 years first, start totting up the scores. Let's go. So we always start off with looking over the current ability of some players. And as you can see, Alvaro Garcia is at Fulham. They've won a Conference League in 2063, 10 years ago. But they've done very little else. But he's the best player in the world, currently at 195. The next best player, 185. So there's a huge jump there. And what we do now is we go down and we want to find Faroese or a Moldovan. I was scrolling for a while and didn't see anyone. So they've got the best player for Faroe Islands, is a goalkeeper, Matthias Hansen, 173, currently playing for Barcelona, 144 caps for them. He's also second nationality of Danish. To be honest, they've all got a second nationality of Danish, which means I won't be surprised if there's quite a few players. If Denmark have quite a good experiment. Moldova, the best player for Moldova is 140. By the fact they've got max facilities and max youth recruitment and max youth generated players, 140. We'd have a 185 potential over here for Cyprian Tanase and a 187 for Lars Kvist. He's 32, he's never getting there. Okay, well, there you go. There's the shortlist. Let's move on to the Conference League. Okay, so I have notes on every single team in the nations, so we can actually keep track of what's been going on. So just for an easier snapshot and visual for myself and for you guys. During this, Editor J will throw up a scoreboard. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes when the scores start getting like they're just constant, it takes forever to produce that scoreboard because it's just individual images, really. I need to find a plugin that's better that I can just put in OBS and just type it in as I go. But alas, I have not got that. So it's a separate image every single time. And if it's just constant, boom, 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 and it's like 28, 27 in Conference Leagues, it's like bloody yeah. So there'll be a scoreboard flashing up intermittently. You get nothing for runners-up, as Sheriff Tiraspol will find out very quickly. It's still 0-0, despite the fact that they have come runner-up. Moldova are actually 75th in the world. That's interesting. And the league is 11th. Ooh. Okay, let's start going up. Vikinger. They're from Faroe Islands, almost certainly. Yes. They're 33rd in the world in terms of their international team, and their league is up in 9th. Well. So we're now just in the periphery of the top 10, despite the fact we were 37th and 87th. And then the nations are in the top 35-ish or 40, even though they were well over 100. So, fair play. But runners up, still 0-0. And there's not a lot happening in this first 50 years. And to be honest, we don't expect much in those first 50 years. But as I say that, I've scrolled up, and 07 Vesta for Faroe Islands make it 1-0. Oh, and straight away, back to back, Vesta, they make it 2. And Sheriff Tiraspol bring one back. It's now 2-1, ladies and gentlemen. And that is basically, those two have happened in the last 3 years. Newcastle beat Austria Vienna the season just gone. And there we are. We're already at the first 50 years for Conference League. So it's 2-1, the Faroe Islands. So the Europa League then, as we scroll through, only 2 Conference Leagues. I'm not expecting a Europa League. I'll be amazed if we've even got a semi-final, a finalist, which we have. HB have not Balterflag, which is a Faroese team. They've come run up to West Ham in the 47-48 season. That seems to be it, really. Not got a lot else happening, unfortunately. And that is it. There's nothing in the Europa League. There's going to be nothing in the Champions League, and I am very correct in that. Wow, look at Chelsea with that one. 5 in a row Champions Leagues. That's impressive, isn't it? But yeah, so there we go. We've got no Champions League, so that's 0-0. We move straight on to the Euros. So the Euros, as you can see, I'm not sure if I've actually put a note on the international teams, but there's nothing there. There's nobody there. You can't even scroll down the page because there's been so few tournaments. You see, Denmark have actually won one in 2032. Be interesting to see how many players have a second nationality of Faroe Islands who are in that squad, but it's probably not worth going back considering that there's not a lot happening in amongst it. It's not like they've consistently done really well. If they consistently did really well, maybe we'd go and check and sort of cross compare and analyse, but again, it's not really worth it. In terms of the World Cup though, again, nothing, unfortunately. Scotland have come third a few times. Ghana run up to Italy in 2042. England have won 3, Argentina, Uruguay, Mexico, France, England again, 4 actually. England have won. We've got Denmark in 2054 as well, beating England in the final. That was 3 in a row they were going for in terms of the World Cup. And I think really, again, we could have quite a few Faroese players there, but we're nowhere near, are we? So again, it's going to be 0-0 in World Cups. I don't feel much has happened at all in this first 50 years. It always picks up. It does pick up. Just seen a player called David get loads of Ballon d'Ors. Basically, this generation's Lionel Messi. I wonder if he's Faroese or Moldovan. He could be from anywhere. His name is David. I'm going through quite quick. Now, Peter Olsen, he's Danish. I wonder if he started off in the Faroe Islands. So if he was Faroese and he went to become Danish. So that... Argeir. He's actually born in the place where he started his career. So he's actually born in the Faroe Islands. So he is Faroese. Now, he changed nationality to be Danish. So it does not count. It does not count. Them's the rules. And here he is, Spanish man David, or 5, 6, 7 in a row. Then he was second to Glabinho. Oh, he won again. Here we go. Jeppe Jakobsen is also Faroese in terms of his second nationality. Okay, so Faroe Islands would be absolutely running away with it in terms of Ballon d'Ors. That would be 4. They would be 4-0 up. 5-0 up. So he got 3 in a row, did Jeppe Jakobsen. Again, as I say, not the case. Okay, so 50 years in. Let's move to 100 years in. See what the next 50 years has in store for us. Best player in the world is Uruguayan, 199. And the second best player is Moldovan, Maxim Iavici, for Real Madrid, 196. Things are happening. Things are happening. We've got another Moldovan here, Darius Mihai, also in Spain, and this time he's at Barcelona, 181 out of 185. Matthias Jensen for Faroe Islands, second nationality of Denmark. He's at PSG, 27 years old, and he's a 178 kind of player. So it was much quicker to find them this time. Much quicker to find them this time. Love to see it. In terms of the leagues as well, Moldova in 9th, Faroe Islands 8th. Nationality, Faroe Islands 15th, Moldova 36th. Okay, so Moldova not doing as good, even though they've got 2 players who are much better than the best from Faroe Islands. So I wonder how that's going to translate as we go forward. I mean, the Faroe Islands population is 53,500, whereas Moldova have actually got 4 million. Okay, so conference leagues then. And we pick back up where we left off at 2-1 to Faroe Islands. Newcastle had won against Austria Vienna in 2072-2073. In the 72-73 season. And we move HB runner up there. Oh, B36. Faroe Islands with the win against Zimbru Chisinau. Not only do they take it to 3-1, they take a bonus point. Loads of runners up here. Things are starting to happen. Although no more winners, and the runners up have dried up as well. IF making it 4-1, beating Adana DS. And that's where we get to present day. West Ham beating Bodo Glimt. So it's 4-1 in terms of conference leagues. Not a lot happened, or nothing happened, sorry, in the Europa League. And I'm going to skip through quite quickly because I'm not sure much is going to happen again. And it's not. It's not. Although Milsami or High have taken it for Moldova. So that's 1-0 to Moldova in Europa Leagues. This is why we have a scoring system, because whilst it's 4-1 over in the Conference League and a bonus point, so technically 5-1 overall from that perspective, all of a sudden 2 points now for Europa League brings it back to 5-3, and it just makes it ever so much tighter. They've not won another one though, I've just seen. I think they have come runner up though there against West Ham. So here we go. It ends 1-0. Not only confident about the Champions League, I'm going to scroll through quite quickly with a bit of pace about me. And yeah, I'm correct. There's nothing happening. No runners up, no winners. Maybe next time, in the next 100 years. So again, snapshot. England with 5 Euros in 6 tournaments. A runners up as well in that time. Sorry, no, the tournament after against Portugal. The best we've got is a runners up. Faroe Islands beating no one. Beating themselves, I guess. They lost to Italy in the 21-16 final. Yeah. Nothing more for Denmark either, interestingly. That remains at 0-0 as well. We're going looking on the World Cup, where 3rd place for Faroe Islands, but nothing at all. So we remain at a stalemate internationally as well as in Champions Leagues. Can we break the deadlock in the Ballon d'Or? It's a very, very close affair, and we could be in a situation where we've just seen a player at 199 for Moldova playing for Barcelona or Real Madrid. The other one played for either Barcelona or Real Madrid as well. So whichever way round it is, the point I'm making is if we get generational talent that goes on and wins 4, 5, 6 Ballon d'Ors, that could be enough to actually win the whole experiment based on how low the scoring is, because we've got no Ballon d'Ors up to this point. Jonas Hansen, Manchester City's Jonas Hansen, it becomes 1-0 to Faroe Islands. And this is what I'm saying. Look, Michel for Barcelona, generational talent. How many has he won? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Ballon d'Ors. He almost got them all in a row. He was only interrupted by Marwan Berger. Do you want fries with that, Marwan Berger? Awful, wasn't that? My heart wasn't in that joke. So, present day, where are we at in terms of the scores then? So, we have Conference Leagues, it's 4-1 to Faroe Islands. It's 1-0 to Moldova in Europa Leagues. It is 0-0 in the Champions Leagues, Euros, World Cup, and 1-0 to Faroe Islands in the Ballon d'Or. And there's a bonus point over in the Conference Leagues as well. which means the score is currently 6-3 to Faroe Islands, so it could not be tighter. Literally, a Champions League win, a Euros win, a World Cup win could swing it in the other team, or it could swing it in Moldova's favour. So the next 100 years mean everything. Let's get on with it and jump forward to the end. 22-20 something, I guess. 22-26 we got to. Saved it every single season. 206 times it's been saved. 206 times it's been saved. Why has it been saved 206 times? We start off in 2023. When it come 203 years. Oh, maybe because I saved it a couple of times when I did the notes. I don't know, I guess. You save it straight away, don't you? 19 hours and 59 minutes. So borderline 20 hours of simulation time. So it did take a while. They do take a while, these do, to be fair. So yeah, if you do enjoy these kind of things, please do let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like on it, subscribe, and all that jazz to feed into my analytics a little bit better. Because, yeah, I do enjoy doing these ones. And in terms of setup, they're not too bad. But in terms of simulation time, it is long. And especially in this heat that we've been having, I don't want to fry my poor computer, so I'm trying to do it in little shifts. Few hours here, few hours there. Oh, it's cold. Get the computer on and get it simming. And that's if I'm not bloody playing Football Manager and doing other things on it. So, you know, do you care? No. Do you need to know? No. Why have I told you? Don't know. Let's move on. So, current ability, the best player in the world is Moldovan Victor Gatkan. Again for Man City. But we've got a Moldovan. He's wanted by Atletico Madrid. And then Tommy Pedersen, 182 out of 195, 21 years old. He's going to get there. PSG's Tommy Pedersen, Faroese. So we've got two players plus 190 in terms of potential ability. Evgeny Borisov for Barcelona, Moldovan. Johan Rasmussen, Atletico Madrid, Faroese. So we have 4 players, 2 from each nation. Sorry, 5 players, 3 from Moldova, 2 from Faroese, because I've Radu Titar, 181 out of 186 at 28. 5 players in the first page. Don't even have to scroll down. What lovely stuff that is. So, Moldova, currently ranked 8th in the world. That bodes well. Faroe Islands, 7th. Ooh, yes. Things are happening. The Faroese Premier League is down in 15th, unfortunately. That is disappointing. The Moldovan División Națională is 28th. Domestically, I think we might have had a little bit of a shitter, but internationally, might be where it's at. And in terms of Ballon d'Ors, I think we're going to get some Ballon d'Ors this time. I think the Ballon d'Or tally is probably going to supersede every other trophy. Just a prediction. I'll be honest with you, I've got absolutely no idea. And if you've been here before, you know that sometimes I make these predictions and I am wildly wrong. And I never edit them out. I'm a man of integrity. It just means that when I do get things right, I can be very happy and rejoice, and you guys can go, I don't believe him. He could just look before he records. Yes, I could. Yes, I could. But I don't, because I want my reaction to be genuine. But how do we know that? Because I always get loads wrong. Oh. A conversation with a trolley commenter. I played both parts. I don't know if you could tell. I played myself, which I was very good at. And I thought I portrayed the trolley commenter quite well as well. I put on a different voice, in case that wasn't clear. Such as the level and talent of that voice, you actually probably thought it was a different person. But it wasn't. It was me. So there you go. Right. I am genuinely sorry about how much waffle goes into these videos. Would you believe me if I said I'm trying to trim it back in terms of the amount of waffle and to stay on course? Because I am trying so hard. So hard. Let's go to the Conference League and let's actually just have something to look at. So we were last here in 21-23 and West Ham had beaten Bodo Glimt, hadn't they? So let's move on. It's 4-1 currently. I've just written that down over on a little bit of paper just so I can keep track myself, because of course it's very easy for you lot, because Editor J is probably throwing up some scoreboards for you so you can just look at the top of the screen, whereas I don't have that because Editor J hasn't edited this yet, obviously. So on we move, the Conference League, and Sheriff Tiraspol, runner-up. FC Balti, runner-up. Moldova are on the prowl, but they are not prowling very well. They've missed out again. They'd be nearly equalised. It would be 4-all. It would be 4-all with a bonus point for Faroe Islands if they'd have won all those 3 finals. Alas, it's still 4-1 and nothing's. Oh, Viking! Oh my God! Talk about against the run of play. 5-1. Petrocup Hincesti, runner up, and again Milsami Orhai, again runner up for Moldova. Don't tell me we're only going to get one Conference League win in 100+ years, 103 years. IF and Stramer, both runners up, both for Faroe Islands, to be fair. So we're talking quite a few runners up there, more for Moldova than Faroe Islands, but only Faroe Islands took the points. That's 5-1 plus the bonus. The final score is 6-1 from the Conference Leagues, 5-1 plus the bonus point. But the Europa League, we were here in 22-23, where Liverpool beat Lazio. Did they? I can't remember even mentioning that. I mean, I'll assume they did. But we saw Milsami Orhai take the lead for Moldova, the only winners of the Europa League thus far. But we've got 103 years to go. Can they add to that? Can Faroe Islands peg them back? Well, let's start scrolling and find out. If the Conference League is anything to go by, then this is going to be very, very disappointing. And I was just about to say, it's looking that way. Although, Moldova are 2-0 up. It's Sheriff Tiraspol. Wow. Look at West Ham. West Ham winning it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in 10 years. Literally, they qualify for the Champions League, then they get knocked back down into the Europa League, win it, go to the Champions League, come back down, win it. For a decade. We've got nothing. It's still 2-0. It's still 2-0. It's ended 2-0. So that 2-0 victory, 4 points, means... Oh, IF came run up against Fiorentina in 2014, 22-14, 22-15. That 4 points means it's actually 6-5. It could not be closer. Champions Leagues will have such an impact now. That being said, I'm going to scroll quickly because I don't have any confidence that we've even made a final, never mind won one, considering we've only won 1 Conference League and 1 Europa League in the last 103 years. That's actually really poor from a club perspective. Because they've got great youth facilities, great youth generated players, and they've got loads of money. They should be improving their reputation, and the things should be, kicking on in the leagues. No Champions Leagues at all. We do sometimes struggle for Champions Leagues, and I always do feel kind of empty when no Champions League wins happen. It's very disappointing. I mean, to be fair, the scores are very low indeed. The Euros then, what could happen with the Euros? So, 21-20 was the last time we saw a tournament, Belgium beating Portugal. We'd seen Faroe Islands coming up to Italy. Germany then beat France, and as we move through, the first international trophy won is by the Faroe Islands. It is in 21-32. It's the Euros, and we beat Spain in the final, 1-0. But now, I was going to say nothing much is happening, but we've come runner up against England in 21-92, but that's 60 years difference, and that's what it's taken. Although, just 12 short years later, we beat Poland in the final, 22-04. It's 2-0, and there's not a lot of time for Moldova to come back into this. There really is no time. It's 3-0. Faroe Islands, there's 1 tournament left, and they've won back-to-back Euros. It's 4-0. That might be it for the experiment. That might be it. Although, unless you've got a couple of generational talents for the Ballon d'Or, it's possible. It's possible. Let's go and look at World Cups, though, because World Cups could change everything as well. Okay, scroll down without looking, and then let's bring us back up. So, yeah, that's where we were, wasn't it? With 3rd place for Faroe Islands in 21-10. That's all there is to say. And as we move through the years, 40 years and nothing happened, and then Moldova out of nowhere, like an RKO, 1-0 in terms of World Cups. Moldova break the deadlock. Faroe Islands respond in 21-94. Moldova came runner-up in 21-82, and 3rd place for each of the teams, once for Moldova in 21-74, once for Faroe Islands in 21-98. Back-to-back runners-up, losing to Turkey and England in 22-06, 22-10. And Faroe Islands runner-up most recently, Moldova 3rd. Faroe Islands 3rd place last time out as well. Moldova and Faroe Islands both 3rd in 22-02 and 21-98 respectively. It is close. It's 1-1. It's finished 1-1 in World Cups, but Moldova, really, they could have had 4 or 5. They could have had 4 or 5. That was their chance. That was their chance. So, we're heading to Ballon d'Ors with the scores as follows. The Conference League was 6-1 for Faroe Islands. The Europa League was 4-0 when the points were divvied up to Moldova, meaning it was 6-5. The Euros. Hang on, is there any bonus points here? The Champions League was 0-0. No bonus points in World Cups. Double checking bonus points. Oh, it's only Faroe Islands. So Faroe Islands with 3 points for a win of the Euros means their 4 wins equates to 12 points. So that means we are at 18-5, and then 5 apiece, winning a World Cup each, which means it's 23-10. And of course, the Faroe Islands have won in the Ballon d'Or column. So we start off at 24-10 as we enter into the Ballon d'Ors. Now, Moldova do need to really do a swing. Can they do it? It's easily doable. We saw Mimi win. Then we've got Manuel Gilbert. Oh my God. I've already scrolled a bit too far. Darius Mihai, 2 years in to the 100 years, he wins for Moldova. That's one apiece. Of course, as you can see there, he's won it again the following season. We are talking 2-1 now, and the comeback is on 14-point deficit. Now 12 inside 3 years. Can we go on? He's done it again. Darius Mihai, 3-1 in Ballon d'Ors. Oh, Casper Nielsen for Atletico Madrid. He makes it 3-2, winning his first, the Faroe Islands. Darius Mihai, not to be outdone though. His fourth Ballon d'Or, 4-2. Casper Nielsen makes it 4-3. It's a Messi Ronaldo generational face-off here. Patrick Nissen for Denmark. What's he saying? He was born in Denmark, plays for OB. He's won quite a few as well, Patrick Nissen. Oh, Adam Anderson, Faroese, 4-all. Artem Minin, 5-4 for Moldova. He's got another 6-4. Oh, Kjartan Jakobsen, 6-5. And look at that, he's won it again, 6-6. Oh, I've been scrolling too fast. And there you go, Oliver Pedersen, 2 in a row for Faroe Islands, 7-6, 8-6. Moldova staying in this, it's 8-7, but now it's just a contest of who can win the most Ballon d'Ors. I can't see them coming back. We've got 55 years to overturn a 15-point deficit now because they're one behind in Ballon d'Ors. Oh no, they were one behind to begin with, weren't they? So yeah, 14 point. Still, it's a tall ask. One they're not doing very well at. Still 8-7. Oh, 9-7. Faroese. 10-7. 11. 12, 13, 14. Oh my God, Stefan Dalsgaard has probably sealed it with 6 Ballon d'Ors. And that's the thing. You really need someone to go on and do that. And Moldova needed it. And they didn't have it. Oh, it's another one. Kenneth Norregaard, 15-7. Oh, Anton Jurjev, Moldovan, back to back. So a bit of consolation. It's 15-9. And again, 15-10. Valentin Suteu, 15-11. And that's how it finishes. That's how it finishes. So what were we at? 24-10 to begin with, and 15-11. So that's 39-21 to the Faroe Islands. What a close encounter, really. I think it was only really the Euros that was the huge disparity that sort of really weighted it in Faroe Islands' favour. Everything else, it was very, very close. Very close indeed. So with that being said, that is the end of today's experiment. I had a riot making this one. Of course, I've got the Leagues Mega Pack, which has pretty much most leagues that you can load. Now, I'm having a problem at the moment with Nigeria. I'm trying to do a max youth rating or TV deal sort of thing in the Nigerian league, in a versus, and it's just not taking. I've retested the rules and everything. It's just not taking. So that, which I might have promised in a previous video, the reason it's not come is because I'm having problems with the setup. I will persevere and try and get it out, but just to let you all know, that's where that is. With that being said, if you've got any ideas for other nations you want me to do this with, in terms of a versus, few rules to abide by. One, they must be within the same continent. That's for starters. I can't be having cross-continental sort of check-ins because it just wouldn't work. There'd be no comparative nature. Yes, okay, in South America you got the Copa Libertadores. You could win more of them than somebody wins Champions Leagues. But is that a fair comparison? In my opinion, no. And it would take me out of the experiment. If I was to be watching it, I'd be like, I'm not into this. The stakes here of who's going to win, it just doesn't interest me. So yeah, keep them in the same continent. Also, don't say, oh, can you do Italy versus San Marino? Because obviously Italy are going to win. They've got the reputation. They've got the teams already established. Getting max youth players or loads of money is only going to enhance them. Whereas San Marino need a good 50 to 100 years to really sort of get going, as we saw here. And even still, they never really got going after 200. But yes, they must be nations of a similar sort of standing. I know these guys had quite a difference between them in terms of international ranking and league ranking. But I think we can all agree that they are quite evenly matched. They are both very low down in terms of the rankings, and it's quite fair and quite even in my opinion. But do let me know your suggestions in the comments down below. I'm eager to hear them, and I'll be eager to bring some more of these out in the near future. I'm working on another one at the moment, which is in South America. It's a Uruguay versus Colombia one, because they are very, very close. in terms of their national team ranking, I think. It's 17th and 18th at the start of the game, so I thought that'd be a good one. So that should be coming relatively soon to the channel. It might already be out by the time I've recorded that and edited it. I might do that one first. Who knows? I should. I don't. So we'll see. If it's already out, go and you've not watched it, go and watch it. It was very good. Yeah, very dramatic towards the end. Oh, how close was it? Or it was an absolute landslide for one of the nations. Can you guess which one? Go and watch it and find out. There we go. I've covered myself now. So either one of those will be somewhat true. But there we go. That's the end of today's experiment. I apologise for the waffle. I apologise for veering off the beaten track many times. But as I said, part of what I do. So Faroe Islands win. Congratulations. Rejoice. Wee-hee. Take good care of yourselves, gang. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that jazz. And I'll see you soon.